have something really awesome coming up next, right?
Yes.
Super, super cool. We have a panel that's going to be coming up of some of your favorite storm chasers, meteorologists. This is going to be super cool.
Yes. We've got a whole slew of them. So are you ready to hear all of them? All right. All right. First off, Matthew Capucci. Come on up here. Capucci. Get it, Capucci. Capucci.
I was distracted. Sorry.
It's okay. Welcome. All right.
Wherever you like, sir.
Who is our next person?
Roger Edwards.
Woo! I feel like they're winning something. This
They should, maybe.
kind of exciting.
Oh,
all right.
All right. Well, we'll go to the next person.
Okay, we've got Stormcat.
Oh, there he is.
Come on to the stage.
Brady Harris in the house.
Woo!
Those shades, you're just always looking so stylish, dude.
Yeah.
All the time.
I think it's Dave. Carissa. Is it Carissa? How do you pronounce your last name? Kloss. I love it. Carissa, come up here. Woo! And then, do we have Dave Holder? Woo!
Come on, Dave.
All right.
All right. Tony Laubach.
Woo!
And who's the last one? And last but not least, or maybe, no, there's still more, but Reed Timmer will come up next.
Reed Timmer!
Hey!
Get it, Reed! Woo! I love you! Reed, you're awesome! You're so amazing! All right, I am on this panel, and we have one more. Who is it?
Max Velocity.
Woo!
Max Velocity.
Come on, Max!
Best.
All right. Fantastic.
And last but not least,
Oh,
Mike Nelson!
woo! Mike, I'm so glad you're
Last minute
here.
edition here.
Yes.
So where do you want me? Here?
You can sit. You can sit right here.
Okay.
I'm going to stand. All right. So how's everyone doing?
This is
Good?
great.
Yeah. Look at this amazing panel that we have up here. Yeah. Okay. So we want to take some questions from the audience, but we also have some questions too. So this is the next generation of meteorology and kind of how we can help. We have so many amazing young minds out here. So we want to make sure that you are set up for success. So, and I see the nodding here. Everyone is wonderful. So I'm going to kind of go down this line. We kind of have limited time and so many amazing people here. So really quickly, if there is one piece of advice that you could give the younger generation, what would you give them? Go for it.
I would say, if you want to be a meteorologist, make sure that you're taking as much of the math ahead of time before you get to college, because it can eat you up a little bit. But don't sweat it too much, because I don't think many of us are out there doing a high-level calculus while we're either on TV or chasing storms. And work on your communication skills as well. So if you're right now in middle school or high school, I found not only the physics and the chemistry and the math and all that stuff was great, but go out for the play. Learn to be in front of an audience, because it will give you confidence to talk, and you'll be able to better, when you are interviewed, say during a storm situation, convey the information better.
I love it. Nice job. Max.
I can attest to the calculus stuff. I was in college not that long ago, and the math is very important. We do not use it, though, outside of college. But my advice to everybody out there that wants to either do weather or even anything else, be passionate in what you do. That's the most important thing. I would not try to force yourself to do things. You know, I grew my own brand by being passionate. I never intended to become somebody that was quote unquote famous, as many of you might refer me to. But I think at the end of the day, you want to be passionate about what you're doing, because you'll enjoy it and you'll want to do it even more and do better. So that would be my piece of advice for all of you out there.
I love it. Woo! Reed.
Great points by the golden voice, Max Velocity. And he has a meteorology degree as well. And I do think it still is very important to get the meteorology degree, even though the math is difficult. The concepts are still relatively simple. Rising and sinking motion, whether it's spinning or not, and precipitation and convection and parameters and the shape of the upper level troughs. But never stop chasing your passion is very important. Our motto is never stop chasing. That doesn't always mean storms. So if you're passionate about engineering or building sensors or writing code or the forecasting process or communication of forecasts, whatever your passion may be, as long as you love it, it's really easy to work hard and chase it relentlessly. And I think it's just awesome. All the next generation, all the kids that are here, the future of meteorology and storm chasing is bright. And I see you at all the events coming, bringing model dominators. You guys can code, you can 3D print. You have so many skills, and you already know how to forecast and do meteorology. So if you did study meteorology, I think it would be a breeze for all the kids out there as well. But I also think it's important to get out in the field, whether your parents can drive you safely. You could get your eyes on some storms, because the field meteorology portion of it all, which is storm chasing, is very important, because then you can see all the equations happening in real time. And I chase to try to see the tornado occlusion process from underneath, because you truly understand it when that mode of sinking air carves into the mesocyclone and you get a tornado that happens. So it's very important to get your eyes on some storms, and also utilize the opportunities that are out there with the rise of social media. There's so much more opportunity. We can all have our own distribution platforms to get our forecasts out there, and but also focus on the forecast process as well, whether it's accurate or not. As long as you have a process, then you can always tweak that forecast method and start dominating the storm out there.
Great device not working.
Never stop chasing.
Yeah.
Hand up. Put your hand up.
Yes.
No.
That's fine. Next person.
Yes, go.
Next person.
Move on.
Yes, Tony.
You're going to hear a lot of repeat things from everybody up here, and I think passion's one of the number one things. And I'm going to give a talk at 3:30, kind of talking about my career and hopefully a lot of these things. But I think the basics for me, it's so easy to get caught up in the social media, the being successful, the accurate forecast, seeing tornadoes. Allow yourself the opportunity to be in the moments with the people you're out there with, the experiences you're out there with. Because when you get to the point of the career I'm at, the point in the career a lot of us are at, it gets blurry. And there are people that are no longer there with you. There are a lot of memories that are hard to recollect. Take the pictures, not just of the storms, but what it was like for you to be out there and enjoying this. Because everybody on this stage started at different points of this career path, and things have changed very much over the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And it will never be like it was when you start today, next week, 2 years from now. And you're going to remember those times very, very fondly. So one thing I would say above all else is that you are out there having an experience with some of the most important people you're going to have in your life. So cherish that, capture that, be part of that, and don't let that take second place to everything else that you're doing out there.
Love it. Woo!
I just want to second that thought. I think reflecting on my chase days, one of the biggest things was the camaraderie that we shared with everybody. And that was really important. And it leads me to my other point. It's just follow your heart. I know there's a lot of talk about passion, but it's got to be a dedication, a love of something. And, you know, it's that feeling you get. You all know it, you know, when you're out there on the open road and you're looking at the clouds towering and you just feel it in your soul. And it's something that's just embedded in all of us, I think, everyone here. And so follow that. Follow that. I think it'll lead to great places.
Woo!
I'm going to kind of build on what Mike Nelson said about communication and kind of pull in what these guys have been saying about passion. It's communicating that passion and being able to not only communicate it to your viewers on social media, but to also your brand. Think about all of your favorite chasers that you love to follow and you love to watch. They are communicating and getting you to have that feeling too. Professionalism is a lost art. You want to look people in the eye and shake their hand and do the same thing with your viewers, with the people that you are trying to connect with, because then they are bringing you into their home and into their lives day after day after day. And you're connecting with them on a deeper level. And then you take that passion that you've developed and you get to share it with others. You get to mentor others and be with other people and create this beautiful community that you have so graciously allowed us to be a part of today.
Woo!
Guys, first of all, can we just give it up for Eric and everyone here at the summit? How awesome has this been? Our co-hosts, everyone that is putting this on, it's been absolutely awesome. I think for me, the biggest thing with social media is you have one reputation, you have one brand, and every single thing you put out there on the internet, whether you have 1 million followers or whether you have 1 follower, people see it, people recognize it, and whether you know it or not, everything you post, people will see, and your opportunities in the future will be impacted from that. So the thing that I've learned the most is just treat people right? Treat people right on the internet and treat people right. And every single post that you make, think, is this furthering the science of meteorology? Is this communicating the risks in a responsible way? And is this treating people right in the community and outside of the community? Because people see it, and people in this room, we have reach well beyond this room to the millions and tens of millions of people, and everything that we put out there has a direct impact on the trust that not only everyone in this room has for each other, but also the trust of the public, and we always treat people right. That's the thing I've learned most.
Woo!
Well, somebody who's been putting things out on the internet since about 1994, I will second that. And don't be afraid to root out tendencies to do things that are unsafe or that are unwise in your chasing. Whether you're a meteorologist, whether you're an engineer, whatever you do, and you go out and chase, journalist, it doesn't matter, photographer. Most important thing is live to chase another day. You know, don't sacrifice your life and the well-being of your family and your loved ones to get a little bit closer to the tornado and end up buried out in a field somewhere. It's not worth it. And one thing I'll also say is follow on a little bit with I'll adapt Reed's slogan a little bit and say never stop learning.
Woo.
Because let's say you go to school to be a meteorologist. Okay, you get your bachelor's degree, maybe your master's, maybe your PhD, and you're a meteorologist, great. Your education has only just begun. Every situation, every chase, if you forecast, every forecast you make, every outlook, I did thousands of outlooks, and every single one had something new to teach, a new situation to adapt to. The atmosphere doesn't know about the textbooks we write on it. It does what it does. Mm-hmm. And as anyone who's chased a lot has seen, the atmosphere will pull a fast one on us. John talked about it in his talk this morning. As good of a meteorologist and chaser as he is, no, he missed a few. We all do. Never stop learning. And then when it comes to social media, follow along with what those guys said. I'm going to read a quote here that I just saw this morning in a post by Marshall Shepard at University of Georgia from his Forbes article, and he quoted Victor Gensini, who's a great scientist and a chaser in his own right. Weather is complex. Social media tends to reward confidence and drama, not nuance. That's Victor speaking. And then this is Marshall. Social media can be quite valuable for conveying weather information to the public, but there's also a lot of noise clouding the signal. Social media has incentivized clicks, views, and shares. So many people will share the most scary or provocative scenarios without context or explanation. So what does this mean? To me, it means use discernment, use wisdom. Use your best ability to filter the noise from the signal. How do you determine that? And this, I'm sure we'll all talk about it up here shortly, but one thing you can use to determine that is the filter of uncertainty. If that post is not expressing uncertainty, is not expressing a range of possibilities, then that post is not worth looking at. Scroll on, find an authentic source of your social media information.
Hi, everybody. I would say the biggest thing for me is to use your resources, and that means every single resource. There has never been a time where there is more opportunity to learn and to nurture one's curiosity. 30 years ago, if you had a question, you had to go to that big book called the encyclopedia. And that's all there was. And they used to have people go door to door and sell encyclopedias. There was no internet. Your teachers might be able to help a little bit in elementary, middle, high school, but they didn't necessarily know the answers. Nowadays, everything is instant gratification, and that includes answers. If you have a question about something, go on Twitter. If the answer's not there, go on Google Scholar, go on the internet, go on YouTube, get lost in a deep dive. The number of times I've had a question, and the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. The more you know you don't know. Every time I have a question, I get lost on the internet. I mean, yesterday, I was reading some fascinating paper about the Po Valley region of Italy and a hailstorm that happened there on July 24th, 2023. And since then, I've been reading a gajillion different papers on it. And it's so cool. And the number of obscure things you can learn that circle back later on and help you is incredible. The other thing too, people are resources. Nowadays, if I have a question, I can go on one of y'all's Twitter and ask it or see if you've already answered it. That includes people in real life. I got to have lunch with Cameron Nixon today. I'm sitting next to Roger freaking Edwards. Like, the people that you have access to in this room have encyclopedic knowledges in and of themselves. So leverage that as much as you can. The people are incredibly gracious and give so much good information. I'm blessed to be able to learn from all y'all, and you've taught me so much. So keep doing that.
Yeah, so there was an empty chair, so I just took advantage of it. No, originally I was on the panel and I kind of gave a spot up, but there's an empty chair, so I took it. So, but what I want to say, thank you, and what I want to say is the reason I wanted this panel is because of the young folks in this crowd. Everybody on this stage is a mentor, and I want to preach patience to you young ones that are in here. If you're under the age of 18, it's going to come with hard work and sacrifice and doing everything up here that everybody talked about. It's not going to happen overnight. So everything that they talked about is a message into your heart, into your brain. And we're telling you because guess what? We've all been there. We learn from experience. So I want you guys to be that next generation to do it right as you can possibly do it, right? Nobody chases perfect. Nobody forecasts perfect all the time, unless you're Campucci. But like I said, be patient. I preach patience. Thank you for being here to listen to them, because this right here, I think there's a few up here, Lezak, maybe Tim Marshall, that are in this room that have probably lost more knowledge than all this room combined, to be honest with you. So please listen to them. And I'm going to kind of step away, but thank you for doing this. That's the reason I wanted this panel. So please continue to listen.
Awesome. All right. And to piggyback off of what everyone has been saying, something that, many people come up to me about is a lot of times when it comes to local TV, people are getting their information from social media, whether it's following someone on X or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, YouTube. They are getting that severe weather information from you as a source. They're not actually turning on their TV. And so I would love for you, because I know there's several amazing young people here who are actually starting their own YouTube channels. They already have them already. Like thinking about you, Max, Reed, Brady, or Stormcat 5, I should say. What tips, I would love for you to share a little bit of your journey, because it didn't happen overnight, and the responsibility that you do have when it comes to being accurate about everything and just helping these amazing young minds kind of get things started in that region.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't really my plan to make a weather network on YouTube or anything like that. I started a small page called North Texas Weather Center back in 2019, and it ended up blowing up on Facebook over the COVID time frame, so 2021, 2022. And then I pivoted to YouTube. I started to make videos for just Texas, but then it started to expand nationwide. And over the last couple of years, it's been very interesting. I mean, about a year and a half ago, even a year ago, like a year ago today, I had no employees at all. Like, it was just me. And now we have a team of over 20 different people, employees and contractors that work for us, whether those are storm chasers, whether those are, people that are on our screen sometimes, like Riley, for example. He's somebody that's on stream a lot. He's basically like a news relayer in a way. And so we've kind of created a unique sort of, basically, I would call it like a unique sort of broadcast. It's very different from news. All the news stations, for the most part, do have ads even during coverage and stuff like that. Like, we have ad-free coverage. We only go live when the weather's really significant. And I think people really value that because, again, we're not running ads all the time. So, and we're basically building out a huge storm chasing team too. So I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a competition on social media, not news networks. I think everything's going really towards social media when it comes to weather broadcasting. So if you're out there in the audience and you want to do something like I'm doing, again, I would just say, make some videos, put them out there, talk to your parents or even, friends and see what they think of your videos and, ask them for advice too. I'm always here too. If you guys want to email me, if anybody out there in the audience is, making a channel or doing something like that, feel free to email me and send me your, your forecast, and I can always give you some critiques for sure.
I love it. Nice. Woo!
Thank you, Max. And it just seemed like a few years ago, Max was reaching out when he was working on his meteorology degree and wanted to do kind of a moderation thing for our own YouTube. But he started his own and blew it up, put his forecast process on there. He has a golden voice, of course, as well, which helps. But he also has a meteorology degree, has a great forecast process, and Max has done it the right way, which is awesome. And for my relationship with social media is a little bit longer. I started it in 2006, and that was when social media first started. And that was at a time when storm chasers were a little bit afraid of social media and meteorologists. They wanted to keep their footage libraries a little bit exclusive because they thought they would have more value that way. But I just unloaded my whole entire footage library on social media as soon as it started on YouTube and Facebook. And it kind of became more of a journal of things, of storm chasing, kind of a chase logs page. And then I started posting warnings on there as well because people said that they would depend on social media for warnings. And I think I probably posted over 1,000 tornado warnings a year since about 2006. So I always try to do that as well, promote the RadarScope app as well over the last 18 years or so. The founder, Mike, actually lived in the house next door to me in Norman, Oklahoma. So I saw RadarScope when it first started off. But your relationship with social media is up to you. You could log into it and see all the crazy content on there and get upset and get anxiety, or you can use it as a way to get your information out to people and get your content and get your work. And I always wanted to do tornado science. I went to the University of Oklahoma for 17 straight continuous years, 98 till 2015. And I actually had to do seasonal climate work in grad school because I was storm chasing so much as an undergrad all the way through. But I used it and evolved that to do seasonal forecasts of tornadoes and warm season severe weather as well as agriculture. And then I realized I had to do my own tornado science and fund it myself through social media if I wanted to do that. So we've utilized social media as a way to crowdsource science, which I think is going to become an increasingly important funding source for science. You don't have to be affiliated with a university or in the academic fraternity to necessarily get those grants. But if you have a good idea and it's a good scientific idea, you can use your fans now in social media following to fund your science missions and make your dreams happen. So I think social media has created a lot of opportunities for the weather enterprise, and Max is an example of taking advantage of those opportunities and kind of leapfrogging the television transition from a regular TV to more of an internet streaming-based side of things. So Max has done some great work with his weather reports, and for storm chasing, live streaming to social media has become a great tool for warning people in the path of these storms as well. I just think it's really important to also have a science mission out there as well, collecting data outside of the tornado, which is obviously the most safe method, and definitely do not attempt to try to drive into the tornado unless you have a proven vehicle that can make it happen. And it's very difficult to simulate a tornado in the laboratory. So safety is most important. You always want to live to chase another storm. And that's why you also need to drink a lot of water, eat healthy food, try not to eat too many gas station station burritos, unless they're bean burritos, of course, which are the perfect combination of fiber and protein out there. So I definitely recommend the bean burrito. And you can just keep them in your pocket. They don't go bad. So you can save them like 6 to 12 hours later and start chowing down on a healthy snack. So definitely, it's a full court press out there because we spend a lot of time on the road. But thanks for having me here. The summit is awesome. Eric has done such an incredible job with it down there. Capucci is down there as well. And thanks everybody for having us, and never stop chasing those posts. But don't be so focused on the views and likes. It's not as much of a competition as you might think. It's kind of natural for humans to get competitive, I think. But if you just stay connected to the nature and enjoy the beauty of nature, which is really what it's all about, and doing science missions, and stay focused on your passions, then you can have a great relationship with social media.
I love it. Woo! So I love it. What I'm going to do really quick, we have about 20 minutes left. And so I want some more input, though, from Stormcat 5, Capucci. But for those young folks, we're going to have just a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes for you to come up and ask questions. If you have a question, line up right here. If anyone wants to ask this panel a question, this is a great opportunity. If there's something you've been thinking about, I see people already coming up. Come right over here. And Stormcat 5, I'm coming to you.
Yeah. So, while people are lining up, I think we're in a fascinating time on YouTube, and our channel is Stormfront Freak Network. I'll start with the podcast with Phil. Where are you, brother Phil? Shout out to brother Phil.
There he is.
So we all started, and our channel is relatively small, probably a lot smaller than a lot of you guys out there. But YouTube is fascinating right now because there's never been more opportunity for individuals like Max and Reed and everyone else who are, you guys are absolutely dominating out there right now. And we're seeing it was a network approach, and now it's, we're moving towards more of an individualistic approach, right? Where you can create your own destiny. You can create your own content out there. And I think we are just at the precipice here. Like, think about sports, right? You have the game, but then you have the talk shows before, you have the talk shows the after. Weather is becoming a much more mature industry in terms of entertainment. And so where we're trying to sit at the Stormfront Freak Network is that talk show. But the point is, if you want to start something on YouTube, right? Like everyone was saying, it is going to take a lot of work, and you are most likely, the first video you post, you'll probably get 1 view. The second video you post, you might get 5 views. The 10th video you post, you might get 15 views. Do not get caught up in that, right? The point is to take each video that you make, rewatch it, and say, what could I have done better? How could I make this video, and who is my audience? And I think that's really the key to YouTube, and to everyone that sees big channels or sees small channels and think, I can't do it. Like, there is so much more opportunity in the weather field. There is millions and millions. People watch the local news, not for the crime statistics. They watch it for the weather, right? As an entertainment industry, there's so much more opportunity. So keep pushing, keep creating, and every single video you make, look how you can improve it. And in the future, and you use tools at your disposal. Use people like Capucci and Max and Reed and ask them, okay, how did you do this? Right? How are you able to get so big? And take those strategies and then make them their own and own your content and build something unique. And ultimately, you guys will crush it.
Woo! Stormcat 5. All right, Capucci. Capucci, you have anything to add to that? Putting you on the spot.
Oh, let's see. I would say the biggest thing for me is to identify going into this what your biggest goal is. For me, I measure success not necessarily in the number of followers or monetization or goodness gracious, anything else. My biggest goal is just to get people as excited as I am. And so to me, I view each weather hit, weather report on TV or my radar video or whatever, even a tweet, as an opportunity to educate someone just a little bit. Long before I ever did weather, when I was in middle school, high school, I used to work as a tutor. And for me, there was nothing more rewarding than that light bulb moment where somebody who either didn't understand something or was curious about something or was doubting their own abilities suddenly had that light bulb moment where they got it, whether it be in English or math or Spanish or goodness knows whatever I was teaching back then. And I lived for those moments. It was just rewarding. And so for me, my whole career is structured around education. I want people to learn. I want to teach people. And so that's my goal in the content I produce. But everybody has a different goal. So as you go to create content or create whatever your destiny is, identify what that goal is, and that will help guide your progress.
Woo! Thank you, Kapuchi. And yes, Mike.
I realized I can't see half the people in the room behind that podium. To the young people here, don't be afraid to find a mentor. There's a whole row of people here, and there's many out in the audience. When I was a teenager, I worked at an ice cream store, and the local TV meteorologist liked ice cream, and he used to come into my shop. For me, this was like a football star walking in there, and I'd give him the biggest scoop of ice cream that, my boss was probably ticked off about it, but I'd ask him weather questions. And my father says, Mike, this guy comes in the shop all the time. Next time he comes in, ask him for a job. Empty his wastebasket, answer his phone. You don't have to get paid. And my initial reaction was, oh, Dad, that's a dumb idea. Like that would ever happen. But I worked up the courage and I said, sir, if you ever needed help at the TV station, I would do it for free. Well, that gentleman was Terry Kelly, the founder of Weather Central, basically the godfather of television weather graphics, and he became a lifelong friend and a mentor. So for all of you young people, if you're thinking, well, I can't go up to Reed Timmer and introduce myself, I'm just a kid, right? I can't talk to Capucci or something like that. No, you can, and go up and say, how can I learn how to do what you do? And don't be afraid about it. Don't be afraid to find a mentor. And for all of us, be a mentor, because it's changed our lives. And so that would be my little bit of advice.
I love that so much. Woo! And to add to that really quickly, when I was getting going in my career, I would email chief meteorologists and local TV meteorologists, and every email I sent, I got a response back like within a day. So reach out, because if you don't ask, then the answer will always be no. But people, like Capucci was saying, people love to teach, and they love to find, someone that they can teach their passion to and get them as passionate about what they love like they are. So definitely email, DM on social, do whatever you can to find a mentor and to learn. But with that said, we've got 13 minutes. So I'm going to bring you up on stage. Come up. Go ahead. Yes, you can. I'm going to bring you up on stage. Can I steal that microphone right there? Thank you. So no, it's not intimidating. This is fun. This is really fun.
One of us.
So come up here. So we're going to try. So we have an amazing, I don't know if you guys can see, but all the young people that have questions, we're going to try and keep answers short so we can get through them all. So go ahead and ask your question. Whoever wants to answer, just chime in.
Okay. Hi, I'm Weather Chicken, also known as Maddie. As Max said, he has a group of people working with him. How do you get that group of people? Obviously, I've my wonderful group of friends. Levi's sitting here messing with my camera. But how do you gain that group? Anyone can ask an answer.
I got it. Yeah. Honestly, most of our employees that we have, and even, chasers and all that, most of them either came to me or we just randomly met. Like I have not gone on LinkedIn and made any sort of job application. I do not go through job applications. I think that is really lame, to be honest. So instead, I basically just talk to people. I mean, I met Riley, over a year ago, and we end up working together starting back in April. We have several new employees that we brought on recently, like designers, developers. I mean, again, all those people are literally people that I just find like randomly. So, I mean, if you're one of those people in the audience that has some sort of skill set that we don't have, feel free to reach out. That's the best way to do it.
I love it. Woo! All right. Thank you so much. All right. Hi.
Jen, I added 10 minutes. Get on, kids.
Oh, yay. Awesome. Hi. Actually, say your name.
My name is Christopher. I study meteorology a lot. This is a question for Reed a little bit. What you meant by everybody getting scared of the internet, did you mean like people making like special videos on like videos.net or tornadoesvideo.net, I meant?
You mean people being scared of tornadoes, or during the intercept process?
No, it's talking about the internet thing.
Yeah, we started with the tornadovideos.net website, and I was selling DVDs when I was going at the University of Oklahoma. So I would, in between classes, just go to the post office and send out a lot of DVDs.
Yeah.
But we came up with the name because tornado videos was a leading search term for tornado videos. So
That's smart.
we just added the .net. The .com was taken.
I love it.
But I need to get that website back. I'm not sure who has it now.
Yeah.
It's a little encouragement message to everybody who wants to be a meteorologist. Always encourage yourself to do your future job. Like, I study them so much on my free time and like watch videos, read books. I do that, and I made cars that. The cars. Is it okay if I can get them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's from all the way out in California.
I know. We need to bring you on the panel.
Here it is.
Oh, look at the cars. Look at you. Here you go. Yeah, get over here where we can see it. Yeah. Here you go.
These took 1 day to make.
Hold them up.
This is the first one I made, actually. It did work, definitely, on the leaf blower.
Here's the picture we need right here.
They're wonderful. Yeah, stand next to them. There's Becca.
This is the second one I made.
It's so wonderful.
Got an Otis sticker on it.
Yeah. Woo!
I have a ton of stickers on this one.
They're all
Also,
engineers.
I have a friend. He's in the crowd right now. Let me get him. I'll allow him to come up.
Oh yeah, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Here, we're gonna. Okay. This is a new generation.
Yeah, they're testing them.
Bring their cars over here as well. Like yeah, like a scout car and.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
It's okay.
No, he has to UTAP. If you guys do not know what the interceptor is, just search it up.
Woo! Thank you guys so much. We're gonna try and answer a couple more questions, but you're so wonderful.
I think it's just great he's gotten over his shyness problem here.
Yes. You are phenomenal. Thank you.
That is definitely the next Reed Timmer right there. I'm just saying.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Samuel Peck.
Yeah, what's your question?
This is for Stormcat 5. What got you into storm chasing?
Wow, that's a good question. So interesting story. I've only seen half a tornado my entire life. But what got me into storm chasing is for years, we were talking about a trip, and you know, I had known a lot of people that have storm chased. I've seen some epic photos, but I didn't really get it. I didn't really understand, you know, the gas stations, the burritos. You know, I love storms, but I was just like, yo, I'm in Ohio. What's the big deal? I get lightning, you know, every once in a while, maybe once a year. But I didn't really get it. I didn't really get the camaraderie. And I was also like, you know, I'm kind of a little bougie with the hotel. So I was like, I don't want to stay in a motel. I don't want to get bed bugs, right? Come on now. But when you know, I credit Phil a lot in the Stormfront Freaks group because they just kept bugging me to go. And you know, I met Jordan Hall as well, and he kept bugging me to go as well. And we went for it one time, and we didn't even see a tornado, right? And it was the greatest trip I've ever been on in my entire life. Woo! I'm in the middle of a field with lightning behind me, and it's going crazy, and I'm just losing it. And it was just, and then I kind of got it. And that's, you know, so if anyone, you know, if we got meteorologists out here that are like in a studio, right? Like there's some people here that do that. Go out in the field, man. Like go for it and just get out there like Reed and all these other guys, because the stuff you see is something you may never see again in your entire life. Even if you don't see a tornado, and just the camaraderie too. That's something like just going to a gas station, throwing the football around, you know, using the bathroom. And, you know, it's just like, you know, It's unbelievable what you can, just how awesome it is. You guys all know that. That's why you're here. I mean, come on now. So,
Woo!
He's already got his safety glasses on.
I know, he
Hail
does.
glasses.
You want to show your car?
It's ready.
Also, thank you for everyone who signed my thing.
Yeah. Woo! I love it. All right, thank you so much. You're so awesome. Hey, here you go.
So, I'm familiar with some of the people up here. Can any of y'all raise y'all's hands if you actually go chase weed and all? Okay, I got a question. So, my friend over there stated, I make cardboard cars, all those interceptors. Would y'all be interested if I gave you one and dropped it in the path of a tornado? I'll let you put a GoPro on it and everything. I'm being dead serious.
Definitely.
I would give it to you right now.
I'll do you one better.
Shoot your shot.
I'm going to get with my Otis partners. I'm going to try to get on a drone and we'll fly it
Yeah.
in. How about that?
Fly it into a
We'll
tornado.
test it.
Yeah. I
Test
love
it
it.
with a leaf blower to put it to scale too. A leaf blower, even to like 50 miles an hour is equivalent to like a 500-mile-per-hour wind at
I like
scale with
it.
a vehicle.
A 124 scale vehicle with 50 mile an hour winds is equivalent to 500 miles an hour.
Well, I'm not sure, but it's close. A little different.
I love it. You're amazing.
But yeah, we'll drop it into a tornado.
Okay, I'll give you.
We'll have a parachute on it and a probe. Will Clay 25 will make
How
some
are you
sensors for
doing?
you.
What's your name?
Isaac.
Isaac. Do you have a question?
So what is like the excitement of the storm chasing?
Ooh. We'll have one person or two quick answers. Yeah.
I think a lot of it is the fact that I've been doing this for so long and I still see things I've never seen before. I think that's the big excitement for me is I don't know when I wake up in the morning what I'm going to see at the end of the day. And even seeing as much as I have, I still see new and exciting things.
I love it. Great answer.
I'll say too that it's amazing feeling waking up in the morning, not knowing where you're going to end up that evening. It's the greatest adventure. It's just unlimited possibilities, and you always see something different. It's great, and you can end up at a random gas station in West Texas, and you see the same people, and it's just everyone's excited. It's just a collective vibe. It's the best thing ever.
Yes.
Excitement doesn't go away with age either. It only gets more intense.
Woo! I love it. Great answers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You did such a good job. Good job. Hey.
Hi. I just had one question. Like what classes going into like high school and college, like what classes is recommended to take for going into meteorology?
Roger, you want to take this one?
Well, the most important skill that you're going to be using throughout your career in meteorology is anything having to do with physical science. Not because it is the science, not because it's what you learn in just that course, but it builds a foundation. In each step along the way builds a foundation on top of that. So what is the foundation for science? The language of science is math.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first thing I would advise any of y'all to do who are in elementary school, junior high, high school, even college, and you haven't switched majors yet, is to learn the math that leads to meteorology. And every step matters, from algebra and high school calculus on up through college calculus, differential equations, partial differentials. You don't need to worry about those big words now. If you do a good job of learning the stuff now, then it will build on itself and it won't look as hard as it looks now. Math is the foundation for all of it. Even if you don't use it much in your career, it gives you conceptual understanding. It gives you a way of ordering a disorderly sky that you'll be able to use when you're out there and you think, this doesn't make sense. I haven't seen this before, but I think I know what's going on here anyway.
Yeah.
And you can adapt to it, and you can adapt to it safely. The second thing is observation, and you don't have to have a degree to do this. A lot of us, I do, and Reed does, and Matthew, but a lot of us here don't have necessarily meteorology degrees. But we're excellent observers. You always look at the sky and see what you can see. And if you have a if you have a mindset to be a meteorologist in your career, then remember there's a saying in geology, the best geologists go out and look at the rocks. The best meteorologists go out and look at the sky. And I would say just constantly pay attention to what's going on. Try and understand it. And it's not just the clouds, but why do the clouds look like they do, move like they do? So find any meteorology books you can, dive into them. Meteorology resources online. Dive into them, learn from them. Even if you don't understand everything that's there now, read as much as you can. You know, when I was in middle school, I was reading Monthly Weather Review. I may not have understood the equations, but I could read the words and try to figure out what it all meant. So I would just say learn everything you can while you can, and don't stop learning. Just keep learning, and that keeps it a passion for you, because when you go out and see a storm, that storm teaches you things you didn't learn in school or in college. And so you can keep learning, and it keeps being fun, and it never gets boring at all.
I love it. So good. Oh my God, thank you for the question. That was really good. Thanks, Roger. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Clara Peck.
Yeah, awesome. What's your question?
So I consider myself to be an artist, and I love meteorology. And I want to know what is a good career for me to tie both art and meteorology into.
It's a great question.
And like, hey, that's where I feel like I'm on the TV side, not the social media side as much. And there is a performance art to it. You have to be able to, like I said before, connect and communicate. And what is art but a way to connect and communicate with others around you using a language that everybody speaks? And honestly, everybody speaks weather. Everybody sees it. It affects everyone. So for me, that's kind of where television spoke to me, because I didn't want to sit behind a desk at a National Weather Service office. I wanted to be with people. I wanted to communicate with people. And I go back to what he was saying about always learning. I loved having the colored pencils on hand analysis and analyzing maps and drawing beautiful thunderstorms, the photography of it, sharing the visuals of it. It's a way to connect all of what you were saying about being out in the field, but finding the beauty in it and finding the humanity in it, and then being able to use yourself as a conduit to connect that all to people who are watching.
I love that. That's a great answer. And something to add to that is so many chasers are photographers, but they're also they're painters. And so you can have a passion for meteorology and chasing, but also sell different things. Like a lot of us have merch stores, jewelry, anything you can dream of, you can do and you can create. So yeah, you got it. Thank you. Hi. You want to grab the mic? Go for it.
Hi. Okay, that was a little loud. I'm Jackson. I go by Petrichor online because it's Smell of Rain. It's kind of a neat name. And I want to thank all of you for being here and everybody in the crowd for being here. Of course, this is everything I ever wanted to do this year, basically, except for chase, but I can't really do that. So I'm super glad that I'm around people that know far more than me. And, I've studied weather for about 12 years, and y'all still know far more than I could probably know in that time span. So my main question is kind of for Reed, because Reed is a huge influence in my life, but this goes out to everybody here. My career, I mostly want to focus on research on tornadoes specifically, like tornado dynamics, how they work, just to really understand the nitty gritty. Right? How would you start from college? You just, you get out of high school, you're a senior, go over to OU, whatever. You're like, hey, can I get a degree? And they're like, okay. And then you get a degree. And then, there's a huge severe weather event and you're like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to drive straight into it. And I'm going to put a little weather app on my phone and I'm going to see the humidity in it. And it's you need a bit more than that, I would say. So I would like to know where to start, if I could build a probe or something, or whatnot.
Yeah, and I think they're even starting even younger, building the prototype probes and the Dominators, the Interceptors, science missions. You can test them on leaf blowers, and that's kind of when the creative process really starts. And I've seen a lot of new designs as well for Dominators that have even inspired the design of Dominator 5. But once you get to the university that you choose, and I would pick one that does a lot of severe weather research. Texas Tech is a really good one right now. Chris Weiss, who I went to grad school with and played on the OU hockey team there, is a really field-focused guy, and they're doing all kinds of stuff with mobile radars and sticknet probes. University of Oklahoma has a lot of field projects. It's a little bit more discouraged to storm chase on your own time there now, but it doesn't mean you can't do it still if you do it safely. And you could develop your own science missions. But the key is once you get to those universities, start making connections, start talking to professors, find mentors that are involved in field science. For me, I was obsessed with Dr. Howie Bluestein at the University of Oklahoma. And he became a mentor of mine. I see him out in the field all the time. And he's my favorite professor all the way through OU. I wish I could have been involved in more of his field projects, certainly driving the radar. But the key is just to make those connections, show your passion, get in there and start talking to professors and get involved in those field projects. And you can learn a lot from them with instrumentation, even how to build your own instruments. Will Clay 25 is making all of our miniaturized sensors now. So it's really good to connect to engineers like that as well, because they really determine the success of your science mission. The sensors that you deploy, the data you collect, everything comes down to the accuracy of the sensors and your idea as well. For us, for tornadoes, it's all about the ground up data. So we figured out that just throwing the sensors out the window is the best way to get the ground up data inside of a tornado from suction vortex and up. And we've seen the occlusion process a lot and had a lot of questions about the tornado genesis process that we want to figure out eventually. But I do think that social media is going to be a great tool to do your own research as well and crowdfund research. But I do think that initially being affiliated with those university field projects is a great way to get your feet wet, learn how to storm chase, do it safely. And then it could lead to more of your own projects. If you have a good idea, you can start writing grants as well and do kind of a hybrid approach. Social media, you can get sponsors behind research even now, just because science is so important, and I think if you have a mission when you're storm chasing that's science involved, then it's easy for people to get behind that.
I love it. All right. Awesome.
Thank you for everyone, by the way. For everything you do, you're awesome. Y'all are great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Never stop chasing.
Never stop chasing.
Learning too.
All right, we've got 3.5 minutes. I think we can do this. Short answers. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Max. Since social media is becoming such a big thing, what is some advice that you could give to the younger audience that could help them build their brand on social media in a field that is quickly becoming oversaturated? This could be a good question for Max, could be a good question for Matthew, just because y'all are kind of becoming bigger in this.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's gotten a lot more saturated over the last couple of years. I mean, I've noticed it. It was basically on YouTube specifically. If we're just talking about YouTube, it was mostly for nationwide weather, just me and Ryan. And now we have a lot of other people that are starting to make their own channels, and I think it's a great thing. Like, I think in general in the weather space, competition is very important because it drives everybody significantly to do better. And I mean, we've been upgrading a bunch of stuff on our end and making our streams even better. So we are competing nonstop. But I think for anybody out there that wants to make a channel, I think what you need to do is just find a niche. I know somebody just came up here talking about how they want to do designing. I think designing is one of the places in the weather space that is very undersaturated. I've seen so many weather graphics that do not look very good. I think there's a lot of potential there. So I would find your niche. I think you have to have a niche in this space. You need to be unique, and you have to also have very good communication.
I love it. Thank you, Max. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hi. How are you? You want to take the mic?
Sure, I can take the mic.
Awesome.
Hey, Jen, hold on one sec. I do want to add something to that, but it's more of a question to Carissa.
Yeah.
So I work with Carissa, and she's my boss. So one thing we've noticed is social media, right? In the request from content from news sources in social media. So do you want to talk about that and maybe why, the news media is hurting right now and why some of that happens? Do you have the opportunity to do that?
Well, yeah. And I think it's no secret, and Dave can kind of help me out here with this too, that traditional broadcast media, and you mentioned local news, Jen, it's gone in a different direction. And as the market continues to saturate, as people can get everything on their phone, they can get everything on YouTube, and they can be in the storm with you. Why wouldn't they want to do that? And it's difficult too, because we serve a larger brand, and we have to consider the larger brand that we work for. Whereas I love when Max said, find your niche, because that's your brand, and you can serve your brand the best possible way and be unique, because everybody out there wants to be the next Reed Timmer, the next Max Velocity. We don't need that. We need the next you. We need that brand. And you know, so to build on what Max was saying, you have to find what makes you you. And that's what I tell the meteorologists that I work with every day. It's like, I don't want to, a lot of consultants in TV are going to try and fit you in a box. Everybody's going to try and fit you in a box and make you do what they think you need to. And that's sometimes difficult when you have to serve a larger brand. But I want the best version of you. I want you to be uniquely you, because then, especially, we are lucky to work for a national platform. Then I can connect with people in Alabama. I can connect with people in Washington. I can connect with people all over the country with different media outlets. And by being that best version of you, you can go out there and connect with people as well. But that's where the professionalism, the communication, that side of things has to come in as well. Because when it's a larger organization trying to find those social media videos and trying to go forth and get that content for us to put on air, we don't have a lot of resources monetarily to always do that. We have to find ways to work with professionalism, with people who are doing the best version of themselves, but also doing the right thing. How do I say that, Dave?
I think the thing I'll say, just adding on real quick, is earn their trust. Yeah. If social media earn their trust, I think that's underrated. I think that's, we kind of forget that sometimes. And I think it's important to have that rapport with the people who are watching you or following you. I think that's really important, is just to make sure that the people who are listening to you know that you know what the heck you're talking about.
I love it. Awesome. All right. So we are well over time, but we're going to do this really quickly. 30-second answers. Go for it.
Alrighty, that's fine.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is for all of you guys. Do you believe the growing push for formal credentials and tech integration is helping or hurting the raw passion that originally drove storm chasing and severe weather research? And how do we keep that passion?
Ooh. That's good.
Let's face it, the founder of this, Tim Samaras, had no meteorological education at all. He was an inventor, he was a Renaissance man, and he was a self-taught guy. So I think credentials can be overblown. They're very important for some things, but don't let that stop you. The passion is really where it comes from.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, the last and final question. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Zoe, and I've asked this question to a few people already, but out of all the meteorologist schools, which one would you prefer most?
Whoa! Actually,
I'm biased.
Okay, let's go down the line really quick and you just name it. Name what school you went to. Go.
Okay, there you go. University of Wisconsin at Madison.
Woo!
I'm biased because I went here, but Embry-Riddle in Daytona Beach.
Woo!
University of Oklahoma, but there's lots of other universities out there.
Metro State University, right here in Denver.
University of Oklahoma.
Nice. Woo!
I have two. I went to the College of DuPage and also Metro State. Here.
The Ohio State University.
Settle down, settle down.
Now, the best meteorology school for you is going to be the school that best fits your interests in the field.
Woo! Jackpot answer.
That may not be any of these. That may not be any of these that were just named. Some schools have stronger aspects, like Florida State for tropical, OU, or even Penn State for severe. Since I went to one of those schools, I'll just say this: Boomer!
See, I didn't go to a meteorology school. I went to Harvard and I badgered them to let me take as many atmospheric sciences classes as I could. I went to MIT 3 days a week. I got to learn from Carrie Emanuel. And so it's not even necessarily about the school you go to. It's about the program you design for yourself and the professors you get to learn from.
Woo! That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so I went the military route. So I was joining the military and they put me through school, right? So I started at a junior college and then I went to the atmospheric science that the military has. And then I finally, as a 40-something-year-old, finished my degree at Emory-Riddle. So,
Great closing question.
that's, even your older folks, if you're in your 30s, don't give up. I mean, it took me forever. So.
Yes. Woo! Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so I just want to thank everyone, all the young ones that came up here, and our panelists who have been up here for over an hour. You're incredible. You're brilliant. You're some of my closest friends, and you've shared your wisdom with everyone here in this room. So please give them all a big round of applause. Woo! All right.